Yeah, what's popping?
What's going on, man? Wiggs had a great game. Klay had a great game. They
Yep.
carried Steph tonight. Beautiful stuff, man. Took care of business. We have a back to back.
And we got rest before the back to back too, man. I
Yeah,
love to
man.
see it, bro. I love to see it, man.
Yeah, man. So let's finish this shit off tomorrow. Get this shit done. So we are what now? 3 games under 500.
It's go time.
I
That's
believe
all
it's
I
two.
hear. It's I think it's soon now. Yeah, it's
So
go
now we're
time
two
now.
games under 500. All right.
It's go time.
It would be nice if we could get back to 500 at the All Star break or before that. Then we'd really be cooking. You
Yeah,
know?
we can. We'll be a couple games over.
Yeah. um, but tonight the team looked connected, man. I can't complain.
I don't know the last time I see the bench jump up and down like that and have the fucking time of their life right there at the end, man. They look, yes, real connected, real good
Yeah, man.
energy, everything.
They didn't shoot so well in the first quarter or whatever, but again, there is a difference in the defense. There is a big, big, big difference in the
They held
defense,
the
man.
Sixers for 22 points in the first quarter, and they weren't even scoring. That's how you know it was a good sign because
Yeah.
there wasn't any problem with the offense. They just weren't making shots.
Nah, but they kind of took away some shots though. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh yeah, we're not going to talk
yeah.
about that egregious one. We all know what that was. We all know what we're
Hey,
talking about.
hold on. Let me address this real quick. You see that foul, bro? I watched James Harden terrorize the league for like 4 years, doing something 10 times more egregious than what Steph did, bro. That was outrageous. I hate, bro, like in real time, I'm like, oh, that's a foul. That's a foul. Do you know how nasty, bro? And what's the point of a fucking review, bro?
Yo, what's good, Urkel? What's
What is
good?
the point
Sam,
of
what up?
replay? What's the point of replay? That's the better
Yeah,
question.
that shot was, bro. That replay was fucking bullshit. It's ridiculous.
How was your, Sam, was that your first Warrior game?
Oh yeah. It was pretty good. Yeah,
Okay, all right, bro.
yeah.
Congrats,
I
congrats.
wish Steph, I wish he had a better game, but
Well,
Nah, that's fine.
it's
I
Nick.
just care
It's
about
the
the
Nick
win,
Nurse
man.
effect, man. The dude is a fucking terrorist.
bro,
Yeah.
Urkel, bro, these food prices in here, bro, ridiculous, bro. 120, 124 ounce beer. It's like eighteen
Welcome to
dollars, bro. What the
Philadelphia,
hell?
brother.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
It's
Seen,
hilarious, man.
you seen
Those
the
prices
airport
always
prices,
go up
man?
there in
Live
Philly.
it
It's
up
just
out
the
there,
way it
man.
is, man.
Live it up out there, Sam. Live it up.
Yeah,
They
bro. If
got
you
a
go to
sugar
San
tax out
Francisco,
there.
dog. If you go to if you go to
Niggas think
San
I'm
Francisco, you
Elon
pay an
Musk.
arm and a leg, bro. Huh?
Niggas think I'm Elon Musk. Got that money to
Hey,
spend.
hey, listen,
James, what up?
motherfuckers wanted Wiggins traded, huh?
Come on, man.
Huh? Huh?
No, but
21 and 10.
the
21
cool
and
part about
10.
tonight, the cool part about tonight is that Wiggins and Clay played well at the same time.
Yes,
Bro, we
bro.
need more games where
Everybody
they
did. It
both
was
play well
crazy,
together,
man.
man.
That loony dunk or layup.
Hey, Urkel.
And Kaminga
What's going
played
on?
played pretty
Hey,
played
this
pretty
this
well tonight
this
too.
might be the game that done turned us around.
Nah, that happened a while ago.
Turned us
That game
around.
happened a
I
while
honestly
ago.
think we're at the point where if Kaminga doesn't play well, it's honestly a shocker.
Yeah.
We're at that point now.
Bro, there was just some times tonight where it's just like you can see exactly what Draymond had been talking to him about the other day or the other game where he was like, nobody can stop you. Like, bro, he's over here like body checking Tobias Harris. And don't get me wrong, Tobias was still like playing pretty good defense on Kaminga too, but like he was still giving Tobias work.
Um, Wiggins led the team in what was it, scoring tonight? And he led the team in rebound.
You got a double double.
That I wasn't even on that, man. The way he handled Maxi was fucking plating. Because Maxi could have easily went out and gave him 40 points. He
Shadow,
strapped him up. That's what I
a
care
week,
about.
2 weeks ago, we had a call and you told me that I think this was around maybe after the Bulls game, and you said
Mhm.
that just watch Wiggins the next 2-3 weeks. He'll turn it around. He'll be back. His
Yep.
breathing's better. His all that stuff is better,
Yep.
and he's been that. And the sample size is growing. The sample size I think it's definitive. I think even on a bad shooting night, he can still give you elite defense. There was times
Yeah.
this
Hundred
season I
percent.
felt like his defense was a little bit shaky, but I feel like now, even on the nights where maybe he doesn't score as much, like even
Mm.
against the Hawks, right? Against the Hawks, he struggled a little bit the first half, but he was destroying anyone and everyone in his sights defensively. Like
Yeah.
DeJounte couldn't do anything. And then
Yeah.
that's what happened in the second half. Draymond made a point, and I agree with that. I said it after the game too. I said the reason we lost tonight was not just about defense. It was also that yeah, we had a guy go down, and our defense suffered because of it. It wasn't just that our defense was bad; it was that our best POA went down. So
Yeah.
my thing is this: is that if you can make a move, trade anyone for an upgrade, I've always been in favor of that. But there's certain players that you have to understand that if you're not getting the appropriate replacement for, it makes no sense to move them. So my mindset's always been if you're going to move a guy, better be for a two-way player, anyone. And for me with Klay right now, for Wiggins, for whoever, Chris Paul on the trade block, whoever's available, whoever's not available. Tomorrow's the deadline. We're less than 24 hours away. We're coming off of two dominant wins. One against, I know Philly was down some bodies tonight, but still, have we done this all year? Have we gone into an opposing team's house and dominated them the way that we did tonight? We did a few times early in the year, right? We did it against Sacramento. We did it against the Pelicans. But ever since that 6-2 start, we really haven't done that at all. We've lost a lot of games we should have won. We haven't really been up to par defensively as we thought we should be. And now our defense looks like it's on a string. This is the best defensive connective unit I've seen all season, 1 through 10. Everyone's on a string. Lester's on a string.
Lester's defense crazy,
Lester,
man.
yeah,
He's doing
Lester's on
really
a
good,
string.
and he's making mistakes,
Draymond,
but he's good.
Yeah.
Wiggins, Looney
Bro,
looks better.
Even D is on a stern.
D Santos, everyone does 1 through 10, and so this is what we want to see from this team defensively because we know scoring is going to come and go. Didn't we have 15 points in the first quarter? 15.
They also had a
Yeah, I think
43-point
so.
quarter at the same
So
time
think
too.
In
about
the
it. Think
third
about
It's
it.
kind
quarter,
of funny,
43.
isn't it?
We had 15 points in the first quarter. 15. And we ended the game with damn near 130. So it just goes to show the offense has never really been the issue with this team, at least for this season. The issue has been the defense. And tonight, and even last game against Brooklyn, we held Brooklyn under 100 points. For 2 games now, you can argue they're not great teams. You can argue they're missing players. You can argue whatever you want. But we weren't doing this earlier in the year, holding teams to around 100 points. This is what good defensive teams do. And I'm not saying we're there yet, but I'm saying that we're building habits, we're building championship defensive habits, and we're trending towards a good defensive team. And that three-man unit of Kaminga, Wiggins, and Draymond, I've been trying to tell you guys ever since the Lakers loss. I know the Lakers loss was deflating, but I was trying to tell people, look, that three-man unit, one thing we can take away, I know that Lakers loss is going to sting, but I'm telling you that three-man unit is going to do some special stuff. And the last 2 weeks, they've done nothing but special stuff. So great trends, great habits that are being built. And Chris Paul is on his way back. Gary Payton II is on his way back. We're gonna get healthier. Tomorrow's the deadline. If there's an upgrade to be had, if there's a move to be made, I'm sure Mike will explore that. I love where the team is trending right now.
We had 9 shot blocks tonight, 7 steals.
So
Damn.
I want to emphasize what Dre mentioned as well. Like I think tonight wasn't an outlier. I think we're making great trends, and I am seeing this is what's kind of pissing me off about my current Twitter TL. There's certain people that are saying number one that Andrew Wiggins had an outlier game tonight, and from what I'm seeing, it's this has been consistent, right? And then
They don't know
second,
what they're talking about.
this
Then
the
they ain't
second
been
thing I'm
watching.
seeing though is that Wiggins had a good game because we played against a bad team essentially. Um, and that just kind of pisses me off to think that like people would rather talk about how we're playing bad teams, and that's why our players are playing good versus like congratulating our team for a good win.
Yeah,
I mean,
they'd rather qualify the win than celebrate it. Yeah,
mm-hmm.
it's a
Yeah,
good
that's
point.
just insane to me.
I think people discrediting Wiggins are crazy because in the past 2 weeks, you've seen a difference. Like, even in today's game, I saw him backdoor cut, dunk, put back dunk before. I mean, you could tell when someone's not breathing, it's going to be hard to get up there, get all them dunks again. He's dunking the ball a
Yep.
lot more too. You see the difference, man. You see it.
He
How do
looks
you
like
think
he's
Clay
getting
plays tonight?
healthy, bro. Oh, he looks healthy. Like it just looks totally different than 2 months ago.
He doesn't just look healthy to me. He looks like he's playing loose out there.
Yeah,
Like,
it looks like he's found his rhythm, you know?
yeah, I
Let me
mean,
be honest with you. This is probably my favorite Steph 9 point game of all time. I swear to God. No, no, no. Dead ass, because Wiggins had 21 in 23 minutes. Clay had 18 in 28 minutes. And bro, there's been so much fighting and infighting with the Wiggins people and the Clay people, and it's just good. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Last time I went to playback and I pulled up the Clay clip. People pulled it up and they're like, "Yo, watch that Clay clip." It tore my heart out, bro. I was so devastated watching him, bro, because he's trying to smile through the thing, and this man has won us 4 championships. You know what I'm saying? And just watching him suffer like that, and watching the anguish in his face through a smile. It's a fake smile, bro. And watching the anguish in his face, it killed me. It floored me. So I don't want to see that, bro. He's won us championships, bro. Again, there's been many years, many years where I have booked my flight to the finals in in January of that year, you know? And it's partly because of Klay Thompson. I used to be so confident. Matter of fact, I still am confident about how this team would win and how they were winning, right? And he's a part of that. And he made me so confident in winning, right? So watching him go through what he went through, it made me feel like shit. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to watch Klay Thompson suffer like that mentally. And you see he's going through stages right now, you know? And the fact that he's in a better place and he's not second guessing himself and he's fine. And you saw him smiling tonight and all of that stuff that made me feel good, right? So, in the NBA, regular season, like we have these ups and we have the downs and we have the ups and we have the downs. You know what I'm saying? And I always say life is not linear. You know what I'm saying? Nothing in life is linear. Like you have the ups and you have the downs. You know what I'm saying? Nothing just goes trends up, 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 up. It never does. You have ups, you have downs, and the road is rocky. That's how an NBA season is, right? So, you know, the most important part is to be going into the playoffs, playing well, right? So, if this taught us some lessons and we can go into the playoffs and we go on a little run now, that would be ideal, right? So maybe they can improve the roster, maybe they can't, right? But, you know, I will still be here to watch and I'll still start up the spaces pre-game and post-game and I'm just going to enjoy it. But watching Clay tonight be happier, that made me feel good. Watching Andrew be happier, that made me feel. These are two dudes that's won us championships. And end of the day, whether you like the trade or no trade or whatever, let me tell you something. This team runs on continuity. I've watched this team for a very long time. They run on continuity. Um, there are not many trades. I heard JJ Redick tonight said, there's a couple of trades in NBA history that were made mid-season that really turned things around. Rasheed Wallace to the Pistons, Pau Gasol to the Lakers. There's not that many, right? So, if we are to get a guy, he has to be an absolute game changer within the margins, right? So we don't have like a lot of margin stuff going on, but if we do make a move, have it be in the margins. But let me tell you something. This team runs on continuity. When they're not connected, they look really fucking bad. They look like the worst team in the league because they are built to play together. If they don't play together, again, they look awful. It's not like LeBron four around one, spread the court, drive to the rim, tuck the ball under your ribs, stiff arm your way to the basket. That's not what they do. So, let's just keep that in mind because um, you know, that's how this team has always operated. In 2021, we were 6 games below 500. and they went on a run. It's not impossible. This team is way better than that team. Not impossible. So, you know, we're what now? 2 games under. I think we're in a better spot. This is a bad team that we beat tonight, but they beat the brakes off of them, and that's
I
what
mean, we
you
have a
should
game
be doing.
tomorrow, so we win tomorrow. We're a game under.
Exactly, right? So they did what they were supposed.
They
They did
already won this road
exactly what
trip.
they were supposed to do tonight.
Based on what you said, what's the ceiling for this team?
The ceiling title. It's a championship. Steph Curry's on your team. Championship.
Steph Curry's on the team. Yeah,
Championship.
you can
Point blank
never.
simple. This is not a first round exit, a second round exit. Steph Curry is on your team. We
So
won the title 2 years ago.
speaking of continuity, we've been talking this whole season about our team not being consistent enough. Would you say that we've built an identity now for the team, and if so, what do you think that identity is?
So in 2021, we traded D'Angelo Russell for Andrew Wiggins and a protected lottery pick, right? We knew the Timberwolves were going to be bad, and we fleeced them. Okay, whether you want to believe it or not, that was a fucking fleecing, because essentially what it did is that we turned uh, a guy that was a quote unquote bust into one of the best point of attack defenders in the league. And then Jonathan Kaminga is emerging as one of the best younger players in the league, right? So that was for D'Angelo Russell. That was a fleece. Now, in a trade, you don't want to give up value. You don't want to just make a trade to make a trade. Now, that trade right there put us set us apart. And once Jonathan Kaminga was drafted, I always envisioned Andrew Wiggins and Kaminga playing together. They played them together in many spots and it never worked. All of a sudden, voila, it's working. That lineup with the two of them was massive negatives all year long. Now it's a massive positive. What the hell changed? Continuity. This team is going to go as far as Steph, Draymond, and the wings take you. It's really that simple, right? So tonight and the last couple of games, even in the Laker game, you saw how they were switching every ball screen. When they switch and there's no advantages for the defense and you don't have to overhelp, that is a massive, massive plus for the team. So going forward, if we are to be successful, the wings have to play well, and the formula is really eating off of what Steph Curry does, right? Eating off of his advantage, right? So going forward, it has to be the identity has to be defense. And what I've seen throughout this little run that we've made is a defensive identity. Go check the stats. The defensive identity is there. Now, if you can improve the team with like a center or a little backup big or whatever, sure, go do it. But in this current NBA, the way the ball moves in space, moves side to side, and all of that, a bruising center is not going to help you. It has to be somebody that's dynamic defensively that can guard in space. So I'm looking at the Clippers right now. They have uh, James Harden, Zubac as a center, Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, and I forget what that guard's name is,
Terrence
but
Mann.
Terrence Mann, right? That's on the court right now. That's one of the best teams in the league, right? So it's spacing, shooting, and guys that can guard interchanges, right? So that is where we're at. That is kind of what we need to look at in terms of what we can do to match up against it. That's the number one team in the Western Conference right now, just saying. The Clippers are the number one team in the West.
Yeah,
So think
man, they
about
were
that.
they were like kind of dog shit right after the James Harden ship, but they've stayed the ship and
So
I've
think
never
about
looked
that.
back ever since.
It's Kawhi, PG. Those are your wings. You have a big in there, and and that's who we're going to have to. It's a team like that we're going to have to go up against, right? And it's wing central, man. So when people were saying trade Wiggins, I was like, all right, cool. I'm open to suggestions. What are you trading him for, bro? Bobby fucking Portis, dog. Seriously, bro. Like, if tell me that you don't know today's basketball without telling me, bro.
That shit is a fucking joke, bro.
Come on,
Legit
bro.
laughed my ass off when I heard that.
And if you're saying Bobby Portis would have helped, bro, you don't know how NBA basketball is being played right now. You're not paying attention,
Either that or they're
right?
just
Bro,
overvaluing Bobby
let me
Portis and
say it
what he
again.
is.
The best six offenses of all time, the best six offensive of all time are this season. Why do you think that's happening? Do you think it's happening because some bruising center is down there, bro? This is not the fucking 90s anymore, bro. I'm I I've said it a million times, right? So, you need people that are dynamic, that can play both ways, that are skilled and that can do multiple things. Bobby Portis isn't going to help you. He's really not. One center on the court. That's all you need, bro. Like one big on the court, 1 6'10" motherfucker out there is all you need. The rest of it is skill based. That's really it. Two-way skill based. That's what the league is about. Wiggins, Kaminga,
And
Draymond Green.
Urkel, that's why if we're able to make a deal, if somehow we can get one of those guys from Orlando, I think that rounds out the team, and then we just move from there. Like, if it's not possible, fine. But tonight showed me that we need to make just one move to upgrade the front court, and then we'll be fine. Essentially, that's what tonight
I
showed
think
me.
so as well.
And who do you think we
Urkel,
should get?
that trade, bro, that trade that I put in the group chat
Uh-huh.
shuts the water off on everybody in the Clippers, and it gets you a chip. Plain and simple.
You guys,
It gets you a
but
chip.
but the thing is that we keep saying we need to trade, we need to trade, we need to trade. I understand that, but like, who is available? Like, who's out there? That's the problem.
Well, they were just talking about the two bigs in Orlando, like Jonathan Isaac or Wendell Carter Jr.
Yeah, Jonathan Isaac. I don't know about that one, but Wendell Carter, if you can
Yeah.
get that, sure.
Hey, y'all want to know a funny little fact? So Steph and Clay haven't lost to the Sixers together since March 2nd, 2013, when Wiggins and Embiid were still in high school.
Hello.
Look, I'm just gonna say this right now. If our defense is looking like this, and then you add a Jonathan Isaac, and his per 100 is his defensive rating is a 105 next to Draymond Green. Um, I think our defense is top 10 defense if we can bring in Jonathan
Now,
Nice.
Isaac.
now here is
So
what I would like. Um, do we need Draymond relief at the center spot?
Yes.
Yes,
You think we need Draymond
absolutely,
relief?
I don't
absolutely,
think he can go
bro. We
another.
just saw,
I
we
don't think
just
he can
saw,
go
we
another
just
30
saw the other
games.
night, how him being tired, like how that looks, like him holding up for the next like 30 something games, and then making a potentially deep playoff run, like that's a lot to ask. And we know
Also,
that
you
Looney and them
guys.
can't do that right now.
Also, Chris Paul is off the table because I saw a report that they're not trading Chris Paul, so we can't even trade him. They're locked in with him.
Let me say something about Chris
Amazing. The
Paul real
bench can
quick
be a
though. Like,
positive as well when he gets back.
Hey,
Lovely.
CP said, "Motherfucker, if
yeah,
y'all
I
winning a
was,
ring, I'm winning one too."
and it's not even just that. If you're looking, Chris Paul is so involved in like
Yo,
coaching,
but here's
coaching
the
the
one
young
thing I
guys
will
up.
say: this Dario at the five shit, bro. If let's say we make the play in or go into the playoffs with that, that would be the death of us, bro.
Yeah,
He
that shit
cannot
has
have
I
to
that.
agree
stop.
with
That
that.
has
I
to
agree.
stop.
He cannot play at the five, bro.
No.
Even at the four, like maybe, but like at the five, it's just like can't happen, bro.
Can
We
we
gotta
But
move
end
then
it. We
Graves
can
gotta
for
but but he
deadlift.
Sarge
can't really
and
play the
Kojo?
three either though, you know?
I have a question though. Do y'all trust Trace to like be in the rotation like come playoff time if we make it there?
I don't know about
Kerr
playoff
doesn't
time, but
like to
100%,
play
regular season
rookies
for
in
sure.
100%.
playoff situations. I'll tell you that much. Kerr doesn't
So
like to play rookies.
Y'all put Sarchis there if we make it to the playoffs. That's what you're saying?
Well, I'll tell you this much. In Kerr's philosophy, he'll absolutely play Sarge over Trace, no matter what the situation, just because Trace is a rookie. That's how he's always been. Because he rather trusts more established players than rookies. Because in his mind, you're a rookie, you gotta essentially work your way up the pedigree.
So I have a question for the Grace Giver. Like, what did you see in Klay Thompson's game tonight, Urkel?
Bro, the only thing that's wrong with Clay, there's nothing physical wrong with him. It's all mental, bro. It's all mental. Matter of fact, I think the part of the problem with Wiggins as well, a part of it is physical or was physical, but you see what like when you're in a negative state, bro, you just do and You just do all types of nonsense.
Yep.
Tonight, I think he just like took a deep breath and he was just he calmed down and he stopped, bro. Like there's been so many times I watched him this season and he just looked frantic, frantic, frantic. I I got it right, and it's like just take a step back and just make the right play. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Well, remember, Urkel, we talked about this. What was it, yesterday or maybe 2 days
yeah,
ago in your spaces, specifically about like Clay's mental. It, even if you take it back to last season, where he went through that stretch where he was just like uh taking horrible shots, and then they had that like meeting with him or whatever about like his shot selection, and it's like Clay's always been the kind of player that's just like when he's like just in that zone where he's like, I don't know, like zen or whatever the fuck you want to call it, but like when he's in that pocket is when he just allows himself to play his best basketball, just play his game, and he hasn't been able, because of all the shit going on, to just focus on playing his game. It feels like he puts so much weight on every single shot to be like, oh, I gotta make this shit. I gotta remind everybody who I am.
I think he played
yeah.
beautifully today. I think whenever you know, prior to today, I would see him pump fake a lot, and he'll pump fake, but then he'll stay in the same spot and then shoot the three.
There's some
But
mechanic
I,
stuff going on
yeah,
too
for
as
Well, I
sure.
well,
don't.
right?
Well, have you seen any of his mechanics? Like, was he like drifting somewhere today? Was he like
Yeah. So
drifting for
so
no
so
reason?
Wait,
I'm glad you
are you
brought
talking
that
about
up,
Clay?
right? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
glad you brought that up, right? Because you see that drifting shit, bro. They need to find and I don't know if it's a byproduct of the Achilles and the
It
ACL and
is.
all
It
of that.
is. It
Urkel,
is. It is. It
Yeah.
is.
did you see any
But I
Urkel?
think all he has to do is talk to
Did you
JJ
see
Redick.
any
Yes, sir.
drifting
You know,
today?
like
Yes or
that
no?
JJ is
He didn't
known for
drift at
that.
all. No.
So
Hold on, Urkel, one more time. Did you see any drifting today?
No drifting.
I asked you to send me something. Yes or
no,
no?
no, I'm saying he should consult him,
You
Did I
did. Yeah,
ask
yeah.
you
on
to
how.
send me something? Yes or no? A
Yes.
video.
Yep.
Okay. Anyways, that was a great game, guys. We got to build on it. I believe that's 4 out of the last 5 games we won.
Yep.
Yeah.
Am I correct?
This is
Yep.
already a successful
Bro,
road
this
trip. They
should be
won
an
3 of the
eight-game
5
win streak,
games.
though. When you
It's
really
I
look
No,
at
mean,
the
no,
what
no, no,
games,
what do
no.
we got?
We got
What
to
do
be
we
4
what
and
do
1.
we
Four and
got? What
one.
do we got coming up? We got the Pacers next. I
Pacers.
personally think that's a win. I'm not
Yep.
If we
saying
The
they're not
lose
going to
Pacers
be
and the
against
tough,
Suns
Indiana,
next.
I don't consider it successful.
but
To me,
I
four
think
and
that's
four
a
and
win.
one.
Then we go back
Four
home,
and
right?
one.
After the Pacers, we head back home.
Yeah.
Yes.
And who do we play at home?
The
Uh,
Suns
yeah.
on
Big,
Saturday prime time.
huge game. Steph got to be in his bag. Um, what's the matchups looking like?
For which game?
Draymond
The
on
Pacers or?
KD.
Yeah, I put
Well, we got to
Draymond on
take a look
KD
at
Well,
too.
the
somebody has to
the
defend Nurkic, though. If you want Draymond on KD, somebody's got to
You
defend
you
Nurkic.
might have to. I know we all don't like this, but like
I think
our only
Looney
other
might
option is
might
Looney. Yeah, I was
maybe,
just about to
but
say that.
Well, if you start Loon, somebody's got to
I'm
come
not
off.
opposed. Look, I'm actually not opposed, but you would need
Because you
Dre.
I'm
have
gonna
to
be
put.
It's
honest,
tough.
man.
Who's the
Nurkic
same
kills
bench?
us more than everybody else, bro. I'm gonna be honest,
He
man.
does, but you
I'm
have
gonna
because
be
you.
honest, man. When we play those guys, for some reason, like Katie can score 30, obviously. Booker can score 30, obviously, but it's like it doesn't cut the same way as like Nurkic. It's like Nurkic, the shit is deflating. Like,
I'll tell you, Shadow, the matchups they've all lost to the Suns, they've all been because of two guys. It's been Nurkic and Josh Okogie.
yeah, it's
That's
always just
true.
these fucking role player Rodneys that's fucking.
But also, the losses that we've had to the Suns was self inflicted because of our stupidity. And remember, Draymond got suspended or ejected because like he slapped Nurkic or something.
Yeah, but
Like it's all
Yeah.
this time we're gonna have Bobby Portis on Booker, so we'll be good.
Hey, wait. You
yeah, I
know,
know.
wait. You guys. When you look at the last time we played the Suns, though, because I don't think at any point we had in any time we played the Suns this season, Kaminga and Wiggs on the floor at the same time. But now because we obviously they've figured out a dynamic of how to play together on the floor, I'd be interested to see how the defense against the Suns looks now. Obviously, I think you put Wiggs onto Devin Booker. Um,
No, I think we got to change it now. Now that we went to this new lineup,
what do you
it's
think?
probably got to be Draymond on Nurkic. It's got to be Wiggins on KD, right?
It will.
It's probably got to be Kaminga
On
on
Book?
Book, and then Stephon Beal or something.
I think we have a chance to play Nurkic off the floor. I think if Kaminga is locked in, he plays a good game.
Y'all are going to see the advantage of Draymond at the 4. Or sorry, at the 5.
Yep.
Because
He always
there
plays
is an
KD
issue that the
well
Suns
on
have.
defense.
Huh? Draymond is really fucking good against these bruisers, bro. He's really good. I don't think people realize.
You know, I'll be honest too. I think GP might be back that game.
Oh yeah, he's day to day, right?
Is that
Yeah, I
news,
was just
Shadow?
about
Or
to say that. I was
Yeah,
just
he's
about to
day to
say that.
day. He practiced with the team, but I'm
Honestly,
gonna be honest with
they
you.
might be saving him for that game.
It might be. mm,
I think he'll make it,
what's the
man.
actual date of that game? What's the date?
February 10th?
Nah, that might be a
He'll
little
make.
bit early.
A little bit early, right? Maybe
I
like
think he might be there for the Clippers game. What's the
okay.
Clippers? What's the date on the Clippers game?
What is that? The 12th?
Um,
Let
Is
me
it
just
12th
look.
or 13th
no.
or 14th?
Clippers. I don't think we. Let me see. I think that's a little bit later. Let me see.
We have after the
That's
Pacers
the
is what?
14th. 14th.
The Clippers is the 14th. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
the Clippers is
I can see it.
safer.
I can see it.
Is
Yeah.
a
Y'all,
safer bet.
I know this is away from the subject, but did y'all see that 3 that they overturned from Steph Curry
Yeah,
tonight?
that was bullshit.
That was one of the first things we talked about.
That landing space areas like that rule is just
Landing space does not
out the
apply
door
to
now,
Steph.
right? The landing space.
Landing space, yeah, it does not
I
apply to
just
Steph,
don't
Shadow.
understand how
It's
that's
like,
a
what is he
foul on
supposed to
Steph.
do? He's gonna get
We
his
need to
ankle
start sending
snapped, bro.
some tape to the league. Honestly,
OMG.
we need.
I literally tweeted today that Cam Johnson did that exact same thing against us in that Brooklyn game, and he got a 4-point play out of it. The Warriors
Literally,
even challenged that call and lost, by the way. So that means they were clearly upholding the 4-point play.
no consistency, bro.
No, the other team challenged it and took the 4-point play away. That's not a foul on Steph. That's a natural shooting motion when you're drifting to the right.
Exactly.
He's not intentionally
Right.
throwing his foot out there trying to draw contact or something.
Yeah,
But the rest
crazy.
keep calling it that.
Bro, he literally had nowhere to also like to land. Like if he didn't like fall like back the way that he does, like he would be like his ankles would be cooked.
Yeah,
Right.
Because
sounds
if
good
that
to
I
was
me.
know
the
that's
case,
dangerous, man. They gotta
if the
respect
refs
their
really
space.
truly believe that, then we're gonna need to talk about this one guy named Reggie Miller who does a living off of doing that shit. But we
Man.
GM,
don't,
what was your
right?
reaction when you found out Tillman got traded?
I was disappointed. It's one of the names that, and clearly we were right when that report
Jim,
about him
I
being available.
presented the idea, bro. I presented the idea. I even said 2 seconds. I brought the shit up, and then you and I kind of broke down like what that would look like. We gave them the blueprint. We gave them the cheat sheet. We gave them the answers to the fucking test. We did, you and I, and they still fucking failed to make that move. And that's a marginal move. That's not like a bit. You're not giving up a first. You're not giving up young players. You're not giving up a big contract. You're giving up fucking seconds.
Yeah, you're giving
So
them
I was
nothing.
pissed, bro. I might even post my reaction. Because I was on playback when it happened. I might just post the reaction because I was pissed as fuck, bro. We were all pissed, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it costs nothing. It really costs nothing. I mean, Shadow, tell me that Dario Saric this was his last game in a Warriors uniform.
Ooh, he didn't play that
they've
bad
been
though.
Good luck with that.
fielding calls. They've been fielding calls, Jim. I'll be honest with you. They have.
They need to waive him. They need to waive him if they can't trade
Damn,
him.
not wave. God damn.
Dang.
Bro, NFL wave? Come on, man.
No,
Damn.
I cannot see any more Dario Saric at the 5 for
What
the
did
rest
he
of the
do
season
wrong
for the
today,
Warriors.
Jim? What did he do wrong
It's
tonight?
not about tonight, Caprice. It's about the whole season. And even tonight, his defense was garbage as usual at center. Again, it's not Dario's fault, but I just can't stand watching that guy playing the center spot for the Warriors any longer. This just can't happen anymore. Steve Kerr talking about. I was so tired of Steve Kerr talking about like, yo, stop talking about trades. Like talking about we don't need trades, we don't want trades. Like what's wrong with you? The team has been in the dumps the whole season
Well, I
because
mean,
of
he
you.
Jim,
They're
asked
Jim,
trying to help
Jim,
for
you,
Jim,
it.
Jim,
bro.
Jim, Jim. Hold on. He coaches the guys,
Wow.
bro.
Ew,
He
I just
coaches
called
the
him
guys.
bro. Let me take that back.
Jim,
He's no bro. Go
Jim,
on.
Jim. He coaches the guys. You can't, as the coach, kill the guys that you're coaching.
Oh no, Urkel, that's not what I'm saying. Like, just stay off the topic. Just be like, no comment or something. Don't be like, no, we're not looking for trades and we don't want trades. Don't say
Let
that.
me be honest with you, Jim. A no comment is hella loud, bro. Like,
Yeah, no comment. Actually, Jim,
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I
if
think
you
I
worse.
say
have to
no
Yeah,
agree.
comment, that
A
rate
no
that
comment
is
would be
so
kind of like,
suspicious to
No,
just
you
oh,
could
say
just
that.
be
Steve.
like, I don't want to talk about trades. That's not my job. That's not
but
what I'm here to do.
Jim, if
That
they
would be
ask him
worse.
that question,
Yeah, that's no, that's a good answer. If Steve said that I'm not the GM, I'm like what like he'll say, Mike will consult me, blah blah, blah, and then he leaves it at that. Like Mike will consult me, I'm not the GM, blah, blah, blah. That would be a good answer. But I don't know. Urkel's making a fair point though too that like you also want to support the players on the team in a way because if they are here past the deadline, you don't want to like throw them under the bus or anything, and then have that like that kind of like moment where you're like, yeah, like we were kind of, what I'm saying? It's a little like there is that stigma of like when players know that they're gonna get moved and then they don't get moved. Like wasn't Moody supposed to get moved last year, but he ended up not getting moved at all. But so there's like that awkwardness. But my point is that no, I think you both make fair points. I just think look, the trade deadline's literally 15 hours away, or what is it? No, 17 hours away. It's 17 hours away. So
Yeah.
we're literally like we're asleep. We're one night away. We're one sleep away from the deadline. So we'll see what happens. Um, but what do you think about in terms of long term? Like, because I'm trying to view this team from a long term standpoint, and every iteration of the Warriors this season did not feel like a sustainable version long term. I feel like what we've seen the last 2 weeks or so is more of like a long term concept with like the starting lineup the way that we run, and then kind of like this newfound defensive investment and identity and like just kind of like I guess I don't even want to call it effort because that's downplaying it. Like there's a level of a concerted effort of like, oh, we know where to be, we know our spots, we're committed to that defensive end. We're communicating, we're rotating, we're closing out, we're boxing out, and we're pushing the ball. You see how the
you know
offense,
what
you see
was
how the
going on
defense
all
links
year,
up.
Dre? Dre,
Yeah,
what was going on all year long? In my opinion, like every time I watch the game, I am calling out the amount of times that they're overhelping. You know, and sometimes it's just as simple as you didn't have enough talent on the court. The overhelping, the overhelping all season long was probably the worst that I've ever seen it.
Terrible,
When this
bro.
team, when
It
this
was
team doesn't have
terrible.
to overhelp, they are a really frigging good defensive team, bro.
No,
and
They're
they
part
don't
of
have
that
really,
to.
has
really good defensive.
a
They don't
lot
have
of
to
that has to do with
overhelp if
POA.
you can individually guard. And the
Well,
Warriors
Yeah,
throughout
exactly.
the
well,
season have had
yeah.
a bunch of
That's the
guys on
point
the
that I'm
floor
getting
that
to.
aren't capable of guarding 1-on-1. And these days they've had a little bit more of that. Lester Quinones, I mean, he's a bit of a revelation, isn't he? He's been
Yeah, he
really freaking
is
good.
coming
He's a
off the
two-way
bench.
player.
His lateral quickness is nice.
and Steve Krasn played Corey Joseph and played him instead. Got to give him that credit for it.
Kojo ain't seeing no more minutes. Like that's done. That's done.
How was Steve Kerr's coaching tonight, guys? What y'all think?
I was fine with
I
it.
mean,
When he went with
I
that
actually
guard
thought it was
lineup,
kind
that
of.
3 guard lineup for a minute, I was like, what the fuck are you doing?
I didn't agree with him waiting until garbage time to play Trace. I feel like he should be leaning into Trace a bit more personally. But
Well, to be fair,
I
the
guess
Sixers will also play 3 guards out there. I'm just saying.
no,
They
no, no.
were,
But I'm just saying from a concept, like he did play Saric instead of Saric, just play Trace. Like
He
I
was
don't
doing
see
everything possible in garbage time to not play Trace. It was like,
yeah, and see,
it,
I think like the only reason I could see him playing Saric over Trace is because they probably promised Saric some playing time when they signed him in the offseason, and they're committing to that. But I don't think that. I think I like outside of that, like there's nothing that Saric does better than TJD other than shoot. That's all he does better. That's literally it.
Yep. Big shouts to Wiggins, man. Player of the game. I mean, he was a
Man,
double-double
10
in three
boards.
quarters, 23 minutes of play. Seems like he's back, man. He's back, and this is really good to see. It's been a very frustrating few months, and I mean, he's playing POA. He's being put at the three. He's starting again, and he needed an opportunity, and he needed that opportunity at the three. I don't want to see Wiggins at the four ever again.
Nah, yeah, no. And you know
A
what
great
else is
game
just
from him,
like
man.
what's crazy is just like, and I know like we're looking forward, but I'm just like, fuck, man, we really should be on an 8 game win streak. Like we really should be.
Yes, I agree with that. We
I'm like,
really should.
fuck.
Actually,
The
I
Kings.
posted it. I posted on the jumbotron. I got like 2 hours of sleep working on this video to post before the deadline. Everything that the Warriors need to do before this deadline for the Warriors to have a shot to compete for a championship this year. I put that up. It's in YouTube form, and I talked about how the Warriors should be on a 7 game winning streak right now. After tonight, it should be an 8 game winning streak, but obviously Steve blew that. Against the Kings, against the Lakers, against the Hawks. Those are all the games that Warriors should have won. They didn't. They ultimately ended up losing because of the decisions that Steve Kerr ended up making in those games.
Yeah.
So we're still dealing with the Steve Kerr tax at the end of the day. At the end of the day, and there are definitive moves that must be made.
So let
Oh,
And
me
hold
we're
ask
on.
not
y'all.
going
Let me
into.
ask
I
y'all.
gotta cut
Let
you
me.
off there real
Oh,
quick, real quick.
good.
You can't blame that on Steve Kerr. I understand, like he made some like bad decisions, but at the end of the day, against the Hawks, they wasn't even shooting well. Like Klay Thompson was just chucking shots. Like it wasn't
Can y'all hear
all
me?
on Steve Kerr.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah. I
Yes.
think Jim, you might not be able to hear some other people, but yeah, we hear you. We
Yeah,
hear you.
Caprice. Uh, Steve Kerr played a 4 guard lineup in the final minute of regulation and all of overtime against the Hawks. He played a 4 guard lineup.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
shit was dumb.
the Warriors were outscored. That was a competitive game, right? Up until they ran a 4 guard
It
lineup, and then they got outscored 22-11 in the final 6 minutes of the game.
I get it, and I agree with you. All I'm saying is, it's just like I mean, they was taking bad shots too. That's what I'm saying.
There's no
So my
defense.
question.
You can't
So
defend with
my
four
question
guards
for
on the
y'all.
floor.
My question for y'all is then, and maybe maybe Jim, you'll want to speak to this, like, because I know some of us are saying like, oh, well, maybe CP isn't going anywhere. But my concern is, do you think that like if CP stays, like, is Kerr going to be able to help himself come closing time with not putting CP out there because he's dog food on defense?
No, they will lose this season. They will not win a championship if they don't move Chris Paul. That's my belief.
Well, they're not moving him. There was a report that said they're not moving him.
And I honestly don't see that happening. I don't see him getting moved. So convince me otherwise.
The good news is we blew them out, so we got some rest for tomorrow. Steph got some rest, Dre got some rest, Clay got a bit
We
of
play
rest.
tomorrow. Oh my god.
Yeah, we play
Oh
against the
yeah.
Yeah, it's
Pacers.
the 5 games and 7 nights stretch.
I'm
So
telling y'all,
Dre,
But
I'm
you
y'all.
know
glad you
what?
brought
The
I'll
that
be
up.
honest. We've held up well, and if we win tomorrow, that is a big win. Because if we can go 4-1 on this road trip, and the one loss was literally an overtime
mhm.
loss with Steph dropping 60,
No,
which we can kind of flush down the toilet, like because I think there was a lot of shit that went on in that game.
Dre, I'm
Like
telling you, if
Hey,
we
the
play
Warriors have
halfway,
already have 10
if we
road
play,
wins.
if we play halfway decent defense the way we did today against the Pacers, we should win that game because their defense is ass, bro. Like they're not gonna be able to stop us on defense.
Yeah,
Look,
Also,
but
the
to be
Pacers'
fair, they
defense.
are the
look at what
highest
Wick
scoring
said on
team
the
in the league.
jumbotron.
Sorry
I
guys,
love
quick
it here.
update.
Love the fans, coaches,
New Orleans,
organization,
New
teammates.
Orleans are giving the Clippers the fucking business.
Also, like our defense has
Oh
to be
shit,
on
really?
point tomorrow because the Pacers could score. Like they could score.
They're the best offensive team in the league,
Our
and the
defense
numbers
has to be
back
on
that up.
point.
Their numbers back it up. I'm
Like,
literally not joking. They're the best offensive team.
look at that, bro. What you just posted, the Anthony Slater thing. Like, this is one of the reasons why, like, even though we had all this fucking, like, we had our moments with Wiggs, man, but this dude, like, he took less money. He came off the bench because he knew he wasn't playing well and got his ass back out there and is balling and wants to be here. Like, we need players like this to stay on the team, bro.
Yeah, I don't want Wiggins to go either. I really don't.
No one on our team can play better POA than him. Not even like Kaminga ain't even close.
He ain't
Yeah,
going nowhere,
well,
man. He ain't
the
going
way I
nowhere.
see it is
The
is
organization knows that they'll be fucking uproar
we need
if he
front
goes.
court help. Ultimately, we need guys that can shoot
Yes.
and defend in the front court.
Yes.
So he's one of those guys. The shooting is on and off, but the defense is always there. So we need him, and we need more of that. But I think we need more positional size. So if we can get like a Wendell, I don't even know if he's on the table at this point, but if we can get him, if we can get an Isaac, I think there's some potential there. But obviously negotiations, you don't want to give up too much,
bro.
because Isaac has an injury history, so that's a discussion. But
Mm.
there's a few names out there, like even a Kuzma. I know he's not like this like world beater defensively, but he's on a great contract, and I think he would give us some good power forward
I
depth.
don't know
Like
about
that's what
that.
we could use him to close.
I'll tell you, Dre, what I think is going to happen. They're just going to make moves for financial flexibility. I'm just going to be straight up with you.
What does that mean? Like what move? Like what moves entail that?
Either setting salary, that's A, or just not doing anything.
But then what would that shedding salary be like that you see?
You saying
I am just
minimums?
telling you. I am just telling you that's what I believe is going to happen.
No, but he's asking you what like who specifically would
Yeah, yeah.
qualify. You mean Chris Paul, or do you mean like smaller salaries like Kojo and like Sarge?
Probably smaller salaries. I will say that much because they've done it before by
Well,
just setting
I
Right.
think
salary,
Kojo
by just
definitely
cutting
is
guys.
because of that tax penalty that kicks in for him. So I think he's definitely about it here.
So yeah, anything they can do to reduce their luxury tax bill, they're gonna look forward to doing that. That's why I'm telling you
At the
it's
same
gonna be for
token, Lacob
financial
wants to
reasons.
win, and this is so encouraging. This is why I said marginal move. Any marginal move we get in the front can help. Whether it's Tillman, you know what I'm saying. I didn't really want to
Tillman was
talk
for
too
a
much.
salary dump, though.
I don't.
Tillman
I
was
I
a
don't think
salary
no
dump, but
salary.
it happened to strengthen the
Well,
Boston
the
Celtics.
salary your biggest salary situation is the Clay's contract and Kaminga's deal, right? So regardless of what, you're going to be in a second apron. Doesn't matter what you do. Doesn't matter how
You
you shake it. That's the situation. The salary
Well, then
bump
they're screwed
jump.
then.
The salary dump situation. All it could be is you get rid of Kojo, and then you sign
Everyone keeps saying
Lester, and
Kojo is gonna go, but who actually wants him?
because you sign Lester, you could sign Lester on like a super cheap, sign him for the rest of the season, plus
I can see
one
that
or
happening.
2 year. Like that's just basically about it. But by the same token, you move Lester. You put Lester in now. You're still at 14 players, but right now I just don't. From the words that I'm hearing, I Mike's making enough calls to make me think that they're proactive. As far as like all the Bobby Portis, Wiggins, all that, it like I told you, from far as I'm concerned, Wiggins wasn't going nowhere. Um, his effort in practice, what he does, what he brings to the table, everybody on the team understands his POA. He's tenacious. Like what he did to Maxi today was like ridiculous. Maxi's one of the most prolific guards in the NBA, scoring
He took
wise.
Harris some too, and he did a solid job, didn't he? Or no?
Yeah, of course, he could guard anybody on the court, right? So at the end of the day, like don't get me wrong, I like the fact that he had 21 and 10 or whatever. He was a plus 17, but it's his defense that is so elite. Like it's glaring. Like to me, he's a top 3 POA in the entire NBA. And if you were to replace Wiggins, I'm not saying he's irreplaceable, but there's no contract that matches what he does. Like that's just my situation. Like you could get Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler can do exactly what Wiggins does, but the problem is Jimmy Butler makes like $46 million a year.
Yep.
do y'all honestly think we should just like keep the team and just like stay the course? Because I really don't know who to get. Like I
No,
understand Jonathan
we
Isaac.
can, but
No, we
our
can't.
I have a
injured
trade in the
the
chat.
healthiest
We
team,
can't do that.
the healthiest team. Like we have so much. Like
They
we were
can't.
decimated by
They can't
injuries.
afford to
Like
do
it
that,
doesn't
but
feel
will
like
they
it,
do
but we are decimated. Like Moses Moody, rotational player. CP3, rotational player. GP2, rotational player. That's crazy, bro. We lost Draymond Green for suspension of 16 games plus the games he was ejected. Like we lost Steph for a couple games. Clay missed a game or two. Wiggins missed a few games with the finger situation and a couple other things. Like at the end of the day, like half the season we've been hurt. You know what I'm saying? But yet we're still here. We're still able to make a push. I think the new lineup of Draymond, Kaminga, and Wiggins. I think defensively is
Dude, it's
easily
a
one of the
different
best
beast,
in the
man.
league. Is easily one of the best. I
Shut
think
up.
Pod's been playing solid. You know what I mean? I think he's rebounding at a ridiculous clip. But at the end of the day, you can't teach height. Like I can give you guys countless examples of games we lost because we didn't have positional size. We lost. Like that last possession with LeBron. LeBron
Dude,
is an
there's a
elite
ton.
guy, but
Yeah.
I promise you, if it's Wiggins instead of Pods, there's no
Yep.
the game's over. We win.
Yo,
Like
I'll be honest. We competed with Denver in every game.
every
Yeah.
single
Every game we
game.
competed with
Same
Denver.
with the
But do you
Clippers.
know why
And
every
Same
time
with
we
Draymond was
lost?
missing in
OKC.
every
But no,
game.
no. Do you know why we lost? Do you know why we lost in every game? Because we were
Why?
smaller.
Because
Yeah.
Draymond was missing in every matchup with they faced with the
And
Nuggets
Yo,
Gary.
this year.
MPJ was shooting over everything. No, like Aaron Gordon was unstoppable. Like the reason we lost against Denver in every game this season, you can look at Christmas, you can look at that first matchup, and you can even look at the matchup at home when we blew an 18-point lead, is
That
because
shit still pissed me
we were
off.
smaller. You were a smaller team.
Joy, let me
It,
ask you a
We need,
question. Let me ask you a
yeah.
question. So with GB2 and Draymond in the lineup, right, against Denver, like in all three matchups, who are you putting on who to make sure like we like win this game or like we have a chance of winning? Who are you putting on who?
If I'm playing against Denver,
Yeah, with everybody healthy.
I like Wiggs on Murray. I like Dre on Jokic. And then from there, it's like it gets interesting, right?
Okay,
Who do
no,
you
what
put
about
on?
Kaminga and Aaron Gordon?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you could say that, but then Jim would probably bring up a point that, which I don't disagree with, that Gordon, his rebounding might present some challenges, but I do think Kaminga can go at Gordon in a way that we don't have anyone else on the roster who can. So I think I would put Kaminga on Gordon. And then what do you do with MPJ? Do you put Clay on him? Because
Kaminga got
MPJ
Gordon
was
in foul trouble. Remember, like
Kaminga,
he
29
couldn't cope.
minutes tonight,
Gordon couldn't
18
cope with.
points. Kaminga had 18 points tonight, 29 minutes, 6 rebounds, 5 assists,
Nice. That's good. That's good
six
stats.
free throw
he's
attempts.
extremely
Wait, my
dynamic
Yeah.
question
against
my question for y'all
against
is
yeah.
when you look at like because I know some people are saying to trade CP to not trade CP. My thing is if we were to, would you have confidence in say pods or who's running the second unit? Who's running point that we would have confidence going into the rest of the season and then into the playoffs to like run that second unit while Steph is
We
sitting.
talk about that all the time. That is one of the reasons we can't trade CP3. I used to be one of those people who were like trade CP3 because his defense is sometimes it's atrocious, but like I think Shadow brought up or somebody brought up, he literally runs like a 130 or something offense, and that
Yeah,
is like the
128.
best
Oracle
128.
got your cue.
Yeah, so guys, I'm a believer. You know, but CP3 cannot close. That is one thing we can all agree on. I'm pretty sure CP3 cannot close. But in terms of running the bench
Herb
unit,
Jones, Herb Jones still available?
Bro, Clay said when Clay was asked about the trade deadline, he said, "I don't partake in NBA discourse."
he's not going
Yo,
nowhere, bro.
that is
Happy
literally,
birthday, Klay Thompson. He's
Bro,
staying.
he's trolling.
you know,
He's trolling so much.
I don't
Those
participate
Yeah.
damn
in NBA
spacious
discourse is
people.
the craziest.
Yo,
Those
Draymond
damn
is also
spacious
funny.
people.
I don't know if you guys seen on his podcast when he was like, "Oh, we have a new GM. I don't know how he's gonna handle things. Maybe I may get traded, but like, bro, you know you're
Wait,
not going anywhere, bro."
he said on his desire to stay with the team long term, he said that is correct, good assessment. And then on his belief in this team, he said, I see Steph Curry, I see Draymond, I go home and check our playoff record. This dude.
Yo, they're so
Bars.
unserious, bro.
No, that's bars. That's bars. All right, let's do this. Let's transition to playback. So playback.tv slash space gang.
Yes,
Again,
sir.
playback.tv slash space gang. We can continue this conversation over there and we can watch a few interviews over there as well. So see y'all at playback. Give the host account a follow. Thank you very much for tuning in. And we have a game tomorrow. Trade deadline is upon us. We got you covered on the Space Gang Network, Chasing Wins as well. So I will see y'all over there.
Warriors in 5 like it's 2:55 and it's
Everybody
almost
say
3
happy
o'clock, baby.
birthday,
Let's
Klay
fucking go.
Thompson.